I'm RC Robbin. Thank you for joining me. So this is a created franchise on MLB The Show 20 for PlayStation 4. Imagine that the actors from the Marvel Cinematic Universe were to play Major League Baseball, and that would be Avengers Baseball. Thanks so much. This is we are approaching the All-Star break. I think this is game number 82 in a 162 game schedule. No skipped innings, no simulated games. The lineup is as follows. Let's press advance to the next game in the schedule. As you can see, the Avengers are half a game out of first place in the National League West. These are the lineups. The Avengers are 53-28. As far as gameplay, I hit, I pitch, I field. I do not run the bases. I let the computer run the bases for me. And of course, I do play-by-play. That's part of the fun. So, live, coming from the designated home ballpark of the Hollywood Avengers, Crosley Field, the New York Mets visit those same Avengers. On the mound for the Avengers, Scarlett Johansson is making start number 8 on the season. Her record so far is 2-2 with a 3.75 ERA. She started the season in the bullpen and has since earned a spot in the starting rotation. Leading off for the New York Mets, Brian Roberts hitting .329, 15 homers, 46 RBIs. First place vote getter in the National League, and for all second basemen. Here comes the first pitch of the ball game. 3-game set here at home for the Avengers. Fastball inside, ball one. Avengers are 53-28, half game out of first place in the National League West. That's Anthony Mackie at shortstop and Dave Bautista in the right field. Here comes a pitch from Johansson. And that is a line drive headed for the left field. Runs it down. Idris Elba makes the catch one away. Starting lineup for the New York Mets, Brian Roberts is second baseman. DH is Luis Arias. Chipper Jones at third. Mike Trout is in center. Dante Bichette is in right field. Eddie Murray's at first. Marcus Semien is at shortstop. Catcher is Reese McGuire. And Tyler O'Neill batting ninth and playing left field. Luis Arias, .337, 4 homers, 16 runs batted in. 1 out, bases empty, top of the first inning. And that is a line drive. That's the first hit of the ball game for Arias. And with 1 out, the Mets have a base runner here in the top of the first. Here's the replay. Line drive the other way. So next up, Chipper Jones, Hall of Famer, .289, 23 homers, 67 runs batted in, leads the Mets in RBIs. Swing and a miss at the fastball, strike one. Scarlett Johansson does not have a blazing fastball. It hovers around 89, 90 miles an hour, but she has 4 pitches that move, and she is a workhorse. Runner leads off first. Swing and a miss at the slider, inside count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Chipper. Chipper, in the early 2000s, played for the Atlanta Braves, fouls it back. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. That's a line drive headed towards the seats. It is out of play, and we will do it again. And again, just gets a piece of that floaty knuckleball to stay alive. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes, making her work. Pops it up, left side, in foul territory. Bozeman is there, 2 away. So runner at first. Up next is Mike Trout, .344, 17 homers, 62 runs batted in as we approach the All-Star break. In real life, Trout plays for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Swing and a miss, strike one. Runner leads off first. Misses inside with the 2-seam fastball. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Knuckler just misses outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Fouls off the changeup. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner leads off first. No score here in the top of the first inning in this first game of a 3-game set between these 2 ball clubs. Swing and a miss. Struck him out swinging. And the side is retired. Half inning of baseball. Here at Crosley. No score. This is Avengers baseball. On the mound for the New York Mets, Wei Yin Chen, making his 4th start of the season. He has no record. His ERA is 5.68. He's only pitched in 12 2/3 innings this season. Leading off for the Avengers, Anthony Mackie, the new Captain America, hitting .308, 11 homers, 45 runs batted in. He carries a 9-game hitting streak into this contest. Switch hitter, batting from the right side against the lefty Chen. And he swings at the first pitch and skies it to left center field. And the left fielder makes the catch, 1 away. Starting lineup for the Avengers, Anthony Mackie's at short. Second baseman is Tom Holland. The catcher, Chris Evans. Designated hitter is Mark Ruffalo. The third baseman, Chadwick Boseman. Dave Bautista's in right. Robert Downey Jr. is at first. Idris Elba's in left. And batting ninth and playing center field, Don Cheadle. Tom Holland hitting .369 to lead the ball club. Steps up with 1 away. Here in the bottom of the first inning, pitches low, ball 1. The Mets are in first place in the National League East with a 48-33 record. So, 2 possible playoff opponents here in this 3-game matchup. High to the man who plays Spider-Man in the MCU. 2 balls and no strikes to Tom Holland. High and tight. Count goes 3 balls, no strikes. Will he have the green light on 3-0? I highly doubt it. It's not my MO. Outside corner, strike 1. Hitters count, 3 balls and 1 strike to Holland. Here comes the pitch. And it's a bloop headed down the left field line. It is a foul ball. And the count will go full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the payoff pitch from Chen. Hard ground ball through the box, up the middle. First single of the ball game for the Avengers. Here in the bottom of the first, 1 out, single for Spider-Man. Here's the replay. Next up is the first Avenger, Chris Evans. Catcher, hitting from another switch hitter in this versatile lineup, hitting .302, 9 homers, 37 RBIs. He's going, pitches in there for a strike, throw down to second, is not in time. It's a stolen base for Spider-Man. And there'll be a runner in scoring position for Chris Evans. Here's the replay. No chance. Stole it on the pitcher. Count is 0-1 on Steve Rogers. Slider outside corner, count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Holland now has 16 stolen bases on the season. Low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again low, count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at second, 1 away here in the bottom of the first, no score. Grounder to first, backhanded by the first baseman, tosses it to Chen, covering, and there are 2 away. The runner moves to third, so Holland will be at third base. Nice play by Eddie Murray at first, backhanding that and handling the exchange to the pitcher. Next up is Mark Ruffalo, the Incredible Hulk. .341, 18 homers, 68 runs batted, and he leads the ball club in both homers and RBIs. 2 outs, runner at third base. Hard grunt line drive, base hit through the box. That's an RBI single for the Incredible Hulk. Hulk smash, and the MCU now leads 1-0 on RBI number 69 on the season for Mark Ruffalo. Here's the replay. No chance. Hard line drive right back through the middle. Next up, Chadwick Boseman, .332, 10 homers, 38 RBIs. He played Black Panther in the MCU. Slider finds the outside corner, backdoor slider for strike 1. Chadwick, we lost him this year. No, check that. In the year 2020 to colon cancer, sadly. Pitches high and outside, count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike, but he will live forever in Avengers baseball. Hard ground ball left side, foul. Count as 1-2 on T'Challa. Hulk leads off first. Here comes the pitch from Chen. Hard ground ball through the left side. It's a 2-out hit for Black Panther. And there'll be 2 runners on and 2 away now. Here's the replay. Ground ball through the left side between short and third. No chance for either fielder. Next up is Drax the Destroyer. Dave Bautista has had a pretty productive June. 343, 5 homers. Overall, 321, 10 homers, 41 runs batted in on the season. Projected to hit 20 homers and drive in 80 runs. 2 runners on, 2 away. Hard ground ball to the shortstop. Throws to first in time, and the side is retired. But the MCU does score a run on the RBI single by the Hulk. After 1 inning of baseball here at Crosley, it's 1-0. Avengers lead. So we go to the top of the second. Up steps Dante Bichette, hitting .302 on the season. Dante Bichette is also has 8 homers, 39 runs batted in. Dante played in the 1990s. Not a Hall of Famer, but a perennial All-Star. First pitch, outside corner, strike 1. Welcome to Avengers Baseball. I am RC Robbin. Thank you for joining me. This is the first game of a 3-game set between the New York Mets and the Hollywood Avengers. And that's a line drive headed for the right field corner, and it's in there. And it will get past Drax, and the runner will make a turn at first and head to second. That is a lead-off double for Dante Bichette here in the top of the second inning. That's number 16 for Bichette. Here's the replay.
Number 33, Eddie Murray.
Next up is first baseman Eddie Murray, Hall of Famer who played for the Baltimore Orioles in the 70s and 80s, hitting .286, 14 homers, 50 runs batted in. He has a runner in scoring position and nobody out here in the top of the second. Fastball inside, ball 1. Avengers have a 1-0 lead, but the Mets are threatening here in the top of the second. Knuckler floats in there, looked inside, but called a strike by the home plate umpire. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Line drive past the third, lunging third baseman, and it will go all the way to the wall. Rounding third and heading home is Bichette. That is an RBI double, and this ball game is tied for Eddie Murray. That's double number 13 on the season for Murray. Here's the replay. Line drive the other way past Black Panther at third base and into left field. So next up, Marcus Semien, 268, 10 homers, 41 runs batted in. Hey, Mr. John Walker, thank you for joining me for this presentation of Avengers Baseball. Pitch to Semien is fouled off for strike 1. So tie ball game here in the top of the second inning. Runner in scoring position, still nobody out for the Mets. Fastball inside, count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. I love it when you play Avengers Baseball. Well, I love it when I play Avengers Baseball, and I love it when you are joining me in the chat box. Thank you, sir. I very much appreciate it. Thank you for liking the stream. Swing and a miss. Out in front of the slider, struck out Semien, and there's 1 away. That's strikeout number 2 for Black Widow. If you haven't seen the movie Black Widow, I would suggest you go out and check it out. It's actually a really good movie. I like the sister in the film, Yelena. She's hysterical. So next up, Reese McGuire hitting .259, 5 homers, 19 runs batted in. Runner in scoring position at second, 1 away here in the top of the second inning. I love the movie. Well, you have good taste, John. Fastball just misses low for ball 1. Looking forward to Shang-Chi, especially the end credit. Yes, the end credit gives you the impression that we will see the sister Yelena in the MCU in the future. Checks the swing, called a strike, count even 1 ball and 1 strike. So yeah, but I don't want to spoil it. Thank you, John. You just reminded me to keep my mouth shut. I almost spoiled it. Those of you out there that are watching this stream, check out Black Widow. Don't forget to see the end credit scene. So count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away, runner at second. Tie score here in the second inning. Line drive just foul, late on the swing. Count as 1 ball, 2 strikes on McGuire. I heard the Shang-Chi is going to be insane. I heard it from the Cosmic Wonder and the Real Rejects. Line drive, past the diving attempt by Mackey. The runner has to hold at second to see if it'll get through, so he only makes it to third. However, runners will be at first and third with only 1 away, as Scarlett doesn't look sharp. That's a hard line drive right up the middle. So next up for the Mets is Tyler O'Neill, hitting .357, 2 homers, 8 RBIs. Injury replacement, I assume, not a regular player. That's a line drive to the outfield to Drax. Here comes the throw to the plate. He's tagging at third. It is up the line. It's an RBI sacrifice fly for the hitter, and the Mets have scored 2 times here in the top of the second inning and now have a 2-1 lead. So 2 away, runner at first. The leadoff man steps to the plate once again. Brian Roberts lined out in the first. He is 0 for 1. Fouls it off for strike 1. Brian Roberts played for the several teams, but primarily played for the Baltimore Orioles in the 1990s and early 2000s. Not a Hall of Famer, but went to the All-Star game once or twice. Slider inside, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner leads off first. Swing and a miss at the fastball. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he fouls off the 2-seam fastball to stay alive. Misses inside. Count evens. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner leads off first. 2-1 lead for the Mets. Grounder up the middle. Fielded by backhanded toss to Spider-Man. Cut the check. Mackey makes the play, and the side is retired. However, the Mets score twice, and after an inning and a half, it's the Mets leading 2-1. This is Avengers baseball. It's bottom of the second. First baseman Robert Downey Jr. steps to the plate. He is Tony Stark in the MCU, Iron Man. 279, 10 homers, 42 runs batted in. Left-handed hitter up against the left-hander Chen. Here comes the pitch. Checks the swing, pitches low, ball 1. Top Marvel Clips. Hello, Top Marvel Clips. Thank you for joining me. This is Avengers Baseball. I am RC Robbin. That's a grounder to second. Fielded, fires, got him. 1 away. This is a created franchise on MLB The Show 20 for PlayStation 4. The defensive alignment for the Mets in the outfield. From left to right, Tyler O'Neill, Mike Trout, and Dante Bichette. And in the infield, Chipper Jones, Marcus Simeon, Brian Roberts, Eddie Murray, with Reese McGuire behind home plate. So this creative franchise, imagine if the actors from the Marvel Cinematic Universe were to play Major League Baseball, like Idris Elba, for instance, who plays Hemdall in the MCU, swings and fouls it out of play for strike 1. Idris is hitting .266, 5 homers, 32 RBIs as we approach the All-Star break. Here comes the pitch from Chen. Down and in with the breaking ball. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Checks his swing. That's pretty creative. Thank you, Top Marvel Clips. I appreciate the comment. Thank you so much for watching. If you can, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Outside corner, called strike 3. Hemdall, who sees all, does not agree with the call. That's strikeout number 1 for Chen. Next up is James Rhodes, also known as Don Cheadle in the MCU, .316 batting average. He's the center fielder, switch hitter, batting from the left side. Check that, the right side against the lefty Chen. Fouls it back. Strike 1. I liked and subscribed. Thank you, sir, or thank you, ma'am, or otherwise. You can never be sure, but thank you regardless. Pitches outside, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Don Cheadle's not the first man to play James Rhodes. That was Terrence Howard in the MCU. Some people forget that because it was the first Iron Man movie back in 2008. But I prefer Don Cheadle, so actually I'm glad that they made the move. And that's a deep drive. Back goes, oh wait, run down by the left fielder. Got a little excited, a little ahead of myself. That retires aside. 1-2-3 inning for Chen. The end of 2. It's a 2-1 lead for the Mets. This is Avengers Baseball. So we go to the top of the 3rd. I had to go. I have to go to bed for school tomorrow, but I'll be back next stream of Avengers Baseball. Mr. Top Marvel Clips, I appreciate any time that you give me. Thank you so much for the comments. Thank you for the like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you again. Have a good day at school tomorrow. So 2-1 lead for the Mets here in the top of the 3rd. Leadoff man is Luis Arias, who actually has a hit in his first at bat. He's 1 for 1. Pitch from Scarlett. In there, strike 1. Pulls it to the first baseman, fielded by Tony Stark, steps on the bag himself, and there's 1 away.
Now batting, third baseman, Chipper.
Next up, Hall of Famer Chipper Jones. Popped out in the first. He is 0 for 1. Here comes the pitch from the Black Widow. Fouls it back behind home plate for strike 1. Chipper's career was a Hall of Fame one for the Atlanta Braves in real life. Looked high, called a strike by the home plate umpire, and the count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Chipper Jones. Oh, just missed down and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Scarlett thought she had called strike 3, but apparently not. And he fouls off the 2-seam fastball. Count will remain 1-2. Grounder to second. Fielded by Holland. Throws to first. 2 away. Nice play by Spider-Man, second base.
The batter, the center fielder.
Next up, Mike Trout. Struck out in the first. He's 0 for 1. Hitting .342 on the season. Fouls off the slider, strike 1. 13 for his last 26. That is a 500 clip over sizable amount of games. He is on fire. Jams him inside with the fastball, fouls it back. Count is 0-2 on Mike Trout. In real life, Mike Trout is a current major leaguer, Hall of Famer. Well, let me not get ahead of myself. He is a perennial all-star and will one day grace the Hall of Fame. Right now he plays for the swing and a miss. However, Black Widow struck him out twice today, and the side is retired. After 2.5 innings of play, it's the New York Mets 2. The Hollywood Avengers 1. So we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Lineup turns over for the Avengers. Anthony Mackie, who plays Sam Wilson in the MCU, steps up again. He's 0 for 1. Here comes the pitch from Chen. And he pulls it, the inside pitch, foul for strike 1. Sets and delivers. Jams him with the high fastball, and the count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Mackie. Hard ground ball to the second baseman, routine play, and there is 1 away here in the bottom of the 3rd. Standings in the NL East. As you can see, the New York Mets are in first place with a 6-game lead over the Philadelphia Phillies as we approach the All-Star break. Comfortable lead. Next up, Tom Holland. Tom is hitting .371 after the single in the first. He leads the ball club in that category. Fastball low, ball 1. An argument can be made for Tom. Fouls it back, count as 1 ball and 1 strike. An argument can be made for Tom as the most valuable player for the first half for the Avengers. He would have to vote it out with Mark Ruffalo. And he's a little late on the fastball, fouls it off, count as 1 ball and 2 strikes. I like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. Looking forward to the next Spider-Man movie. Low in the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that is a line drive headed right at the left fielder. He makes the catch for out number 2. Hit it right on the nose, but right at the left fielder for the out. So next up is the catcher, Chris Evans. Chris, again, is a switch hitter, batting from the right side. He grounded out in the first inning, 0 for 1. Batting average hovering just over 300. Fastball high, but called a strike by the home plate umpire. Count is 0-1. Checks his swing, pitches low, count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike. This is Avengers Baseball. I am RC Robbin.
Nope.
Pitches outside, 2 balls, 1 strike on Evans. Here comes the pitch from Chen.
Nope. That's the ball.
High, hitters count, 3 balls, 1 strike. On deck, the Incredible Hulk, Mark Ruffalo. Looks like it's on rookie. You know what? I forgot to show the difficulty setting. I do like to do that once a game. That's a line drive headed towards the left field line. Out of play. Count will go full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Base is empty. Here comes the payoff pitch from Chen. And it's a drive to center field. It looks like it's going to be off the top of the wall, and it is. Rounding third. No, check that. He stops at second and will be in there for a 2-out double. He can do this all day, ladies and gentlemen. Deep drive to center field, which almost makes the seats for a tie ball game. Hits that yellow border at the top of the wall. And there's now a runner in scoring position with 2 away. So once a game, just for record-keeping sake, options, gameplay, hitting difficulty is set to All-Star, and the pitching difficulty also set to All-Star. So, Mark Ruffalo, the Incredible Hulk, steps up. He has an RBI single today. Got another chance for another RBI. In the dirt, knocked away, but no advance. Nice recovery from the catcher. So it's a 2-1 lead for the Mets. Here in the bottom of the third, here in this first game of a 3-game set between these 2 ball clubs. Nice to see your name in the stream, Mr. Outlander. I know that you've been dealing with an illness. I'm glad to see you here. I hope that you're doing well. Pitch is high, 2 balls and no strikes to the Hulk. Outside corner with the fastball, 2-1. Mark leads the ball club with homers and RBIs. Slider outside, hitters count, 3 balls and 1 strike. On deck, Black Panther. Evans leads off second. Here comes the pitch. Hard ground ball up the middle, diving, nice. Throws from his knees in time to retire the side and save a run. What a play from Marcus Semien. And after 3 innings of play, the Mets hold on to a slim 2-1 advantage. This is Avengers Baseball. So we go to the top of the 4th. Up steps Dante Bichette, who had a double in his first at-bat. He's 1 for 1. Double and a run scored. Scarlett sets and delivers. Pops it up. Out of his crouch is Evans. In foul territory. It looks like he's lost it. He lost track of the ball, and it's going to be a strike when it should be an out. What a play. Because his glove didn't make contact with the ball, they're not going to give him an error. They're just going to call it a foul ball. But it should be 1 out. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss at the changeup. Out in front, count is no balls and 2 strikes to Scarlett Johansson. Check that, from Scarlett Johansson to Dante Bichette. Pardon me. Line drive, foul ball. Drive to right, shallow. Bichette, now check that. Batista is there, and there's one away. Drax the Destroyer makes the catch.
Now batting, the first baseman.
Next up, Eddie Murray, who has an RBI double today and a run scored. Steps in with one away. In there, strike one. Knuckler floats inside, count 1 ball and 1 strike to Murray. Murray in his major league career had over 500 home runs, had over 3,000 hits for the Baltimore Orioles. Switch hitter, first baseman. Two-seam fastball low, 2 balls and 1 strike. First ballot Hall of Famer. Ground ball past the third baseman and into left field, and it gets past Idris and goes all the way to the wall. It's going to be a 1-out double, his second double of the game. And the Mets have a runner in scoring position on Murray's 14th double of the season. Look at this line drive the other way. No chance really for T'Challa at third, and he never hesitated around first base. So, runner in scoring position for Marcus Semien, who struck out in the second. He is 0 for 1. Line drive, foul ball, strike 1. So, the Hollywood Avengers have taken the place of the San Diego Padres in the National League West. And right now, as we approach the All-Star break, they're fighting with the Los Angeles Dodgers for first place. Pops him up. Right side, there is Spider-Man, makes the catch 2 away. Starting today, both the Avengers and the Los Angeles Dodgers were tied with the same record. However, the Dodgers have already won today, so in order to keep pace, the Avengers have to win today. They're losing 2-1. Next up is Reese McGuire, who had a hit in his first at-bat. Inside with the slider, ball 1. Reese is hitting only .216 with runners in scoring position, so he's not all that comfortable with that runner over there at second. In there, strike 1. Count as 1 ball and 1 strike. Knuckler low, 2-1. Scarlett doesn't quite look the same without the makeup. Just trying to make a joke, folks. No options to make females in this game, unfortunately. So, did the best I could. That's my Scarlett. Count is 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner leads off second. Two-seam fastball fouled off. Count will remain 2 balls, 2 strikes. And again, jams him inside with the two-seamer. And we'll do it again. A lot of pitches for Scarlett. This is pitch number 60 in 3 2/3 innings pitched. High pitch count. Swing and a miss. Struck him out on the slow breaking ball to retire the side. He wants to know if it was a strike, and umpire nods yes. At the end of 4 innings of play, it's the Mets leading 2-1. This is Avengers baseball. So we go to the bottom of the 4th. Up steps T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, who singled in his first at-bat. Here comes Chen, the pitch. And that's a deep drive. However, there's a lot of real estate out there. Over-the-shoulder catch. 1 away. Pitch speed comparison brought to you by the Outlander Show. Chen is beating Scarlett 93-91. He's also beating Scarlett in the scoreboard. It's a 2-1 ball game for the Mets here with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Next up is Drax the Destroyer, who grounded out in the first. He's 0 for 1. And he pulls it foul. Strike one. Grounded to shortstop. Simeon throws to first, and there are two away. Pretty strong performance from Chen so far. Up next, Tony Stark. He's 0 for 1. Tony has 10 homers, 42 RBIs. Pitch is outside, ball one. 10 homers is not first on the Avengers. Pitch is high, 2 balls and no strikes. Mark Ruffalo leads the Avengers with 18 homers. And he skies it to medium right field. There is Bichette to make the catch and retire the side. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Chen. He's cruising. After 4 innings of play, it's 2-1 Mets lead. Next up for the Mets here in the top of the 5th is Tyler O'Neill, who no official at bat. He had a sacrifice fly in the 2nd inning to give the Mets a 2-1 lead. Comes the pitch from Johansson. Swing and a miss, strike one. Fouls off the knuckler. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on O'Neill. Misses inside with the fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Grounder up the middle and through. It is a leadoff single for Tyler O'Neill. And the leadoff man is on for the Mets here in the top of the 5th. Today has been a struggle for Black Widow. Here's the replay. Ground ball with eyes. Next up, Brian Roberts, 0 for 2 today. Lined out, he grounded out. Runner leads off first, a lot of speed. Line drive, past the diving attempt by Tony Stark. It's going to be runners at first and second with nobody out, as the Mets threaten here in the top of the 5th inning. Manager, bullpen. Sam Jackson will warm up and Ed Norton will warm up. And the manager will go to a mound visit. He'll send the pitching coach out there to calm Scarlett down, discuss strategy. Luis is 1 for 2 with a single. Not willing to go to the bullpen just yet. Fouls it off at home plate, strike one. Fouled off the changeup. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Luis is hitting only a $174 with runners in scoring position this season. And that's a line drive. Base hits. And they'll go station to station. It's now bases loaded with nobody out here in the top of the 5th. The Mets are already leading by 1. They have a 2-1 lead. And they now have the bases loaded. Line drive the other way by Luis. He's 2 for 3. And that batting average with runners in scoring position will go up. Hall of Famer Chipper Jones, who's 0 for 2, steps to the plate with the bases loaded. Nowhere to put him. Swing and a miss, strike one. Chipper leads all third basemen in votes for this year's All-Star game in the National League. Fouls it off. The count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Chipper. Misses with the slider just inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pops him up. Infield fly rule is in effect. There's 1 away. The bases will remain loaded. Run does not score. Next up is Mike Trout, who struck out twice today, but now he has the bases loaded with only one out. 2-1 lead for the Mets. The Avengers are trying to keep this a one-run ball game. Fastball outside corner, strike one. Trout's hitting .314 with runners in scoring position. However, keep in mind that is about 30 points lower than his season average of .342. Slider off the plate, 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing and a miss, two-seam fastball count as 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pops it up behind home plate. The count remains 1-2. Again, the bases are loaded with Mets. They have a 2-1 lead here in the top of the 5th inning. There's only 1 away. Here comes the pitch to Trout. Grounder up the middle. Steps on the bag, throws to first in time. Side retired. They do not score the run. They load the bases with nobody out and fail to push a run across after 4.5. The score remains Mets 2, Avengers 1. Oof, dodged a bullet. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. Up steps Idris Elba. He plays Hemdahl in the Thor franchise. Chen sets and delivers. Inside with the breaking ball. Ball 1. Curveball inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Pops it up, first base side, over near the on-field dugout is Eddie Murray to make that difficult catch. So he swings it a 2-0 pitch, pops it up, and there's 1 away. Next up, Don Cheadle, 0 for 1 today. 1 out, bottom of the 5th, 2-1 lead for the Mets. And that's a line drive, but right at the left fielder, Mike Trout makes the catch.
Now batter, number 9.
2 away here in the bottom of the 5th. Lineup turns over. The new Captain America steps up to the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. Base is empty, 2 outs. Out in front of the changeup, swing and a miss, strike 1. He has 11 home runs on the season. Ground ball through the middle. It's a 2-out single for Anthony Mackie. Cut the check, and the inning will continue. He has speed at first base. He's a threat to steal. And that's a 10-game hitting streak for Mackie. Cut that check. Here's the replay. Next up, Tom Holland. 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. Here comes the pitch. That's a line drive headed towards the right center field gap. Racing around those bases, it is Gonzo! That is a 2-run home run for Tom Holland. Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Home run number 11. And suddenly, just like that, is a 3-2 advantage for the Avengers here in the bottom of the 5th. Thought that ball was going to be a one-hopper into the seats for a ground rule double, and it just kept on going for Tommy Holland. So next up, Chris Evans. 3-2 lead for the MCU. Evans is 1 for 2 with a double in the 3rd. Line drive, base hit to center field. A 2-out single for Steve Rogers. He can do this all day. And the pitching coach is racing his way out there to slow Chen down. He's like, listen, let's talk. Take a minute. Take a breather. Next up, the Incredible Hulk, 1 for 2. He has an RBI single today. Big lead. Oh, throw to first. He's back in there. Trying to keep him close. Evans has speed. Changeup finds the outside corner for strike 1. Mark's hitting .342 on the season. Leads the team in homers and RBIs. He's going, pitches inside, throw down to second, is not in time. It is a stolen base for the original Captain America, Steve Rogers. Here's the replay. No chance for the catcher. Runner in scoring position with 2 outs for Ruffalo. He already has an RBI single today. A little late on the high fastball. Count as 1 ball and 2 strikes. Skies it to right. Playable for Bichette. And the side is retired. But thank you to Tom Holland, Spider-Man, for the 2-run home run to give the Avengers the lead. It's an official ball game at the end of 5 innings of play here at Crosley Field. It's the Avengers 3 and the Mets 2. So we go to the top of the 6th. Dante Bichette steps up to the plate. Scarlett's still on the mound. Dante's 1 for 2 with a double. Outside corner, strike 1. Swing and a miss out in front of the slider. Count is quickly. No balls and 2 strikes on Bichette. I think Bichette played for the Colorado Rockies. Maybe for the Montreal Expos before they went out of business. I don't remember who Dante Bichette played for. Misses low. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Line drive, base hit to center. And the tying run and leadoff man is on for the New York Mets here in the top of the 6th. Hits leaders for the Mets. Brian Roberts leads the team. Dante is in second place behind him, entering play with a 93. Up next is Eddie Murray. Eddie Murray's 2 for 2 today, 2 doubles and an RBI. Runner leads off first. And that is a deep fly ball to left. Racing back is Hemdahl. He makes the catch for out number 1. Nice play by Elba. Next up, shortstop Marcus Semien, who's 0 for 2. Runner leads off first, 1 away here in the top of the 6th. Outside corner with the fastball, strike 1. I don't know what the manager is talking about. He's yelling about the size of the strike zone. Let's see. Line drive past, ground ball past the diving Tommy Holland for a single through the right side. It's 2 runners on and 1 away as Semien has a single. Scarlett's pitched 5 1/3 innings and given up 10 hits. Next up, Reese McGuire singled in the second. He's 1 for 2. 2 on, 1 away. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Swing and a miss again at the 2-seamer. Count is 0-2. Misses inside with the breaking ball. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Reese McGuire. Whenever I see the name Reese McGuire, I think of Mark McGuire. Grounder. Over to second. Bad decision. Bad decision by the pitcher. And the bases are now loaded with Mets. Again, bases loaded, 1 out. Up next is Tyler O'Neill, who has a hit in this ball game. And he pulls the fastball foul for strike 1. That was deep but foul. Misses low with the changeup. Count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. 3-2 lead for the MCU, but we're in a tough spot right now. Over to second for 1. Back to first. Safe, and the ball game is tied. at 3. It's the fielder's choice. They went for the double play in order to retire the side, but O'Neal legged it out to first. Spins by Tony Stark over to Anthony Mack. He throws back to first, but O'Neal legs it out. And it's a fielder's choice and an RBI for O'Neal, and this ball game is tied at 3. So lineup turns over as Brian Roberts up there for his 4th plate appearance. Is 1 for 3. Runners are at first and third with 2 away, and that will be all as the manager will go to the bullpen and bring in Sam Jackson. Let's put Sam Jackson in the game. So she pitched 5 2/3 innings, gave up 3 runs. However, Scarlett is responsible for both runners on base. In relief is Nick Fury. Samuel L. Jackson, 3 6 with a 3.99 earned run average. 2 runners on, 2 away. Switch hitter Brian Roberts turns around and hits from the right side against the lefty. Ground ball over to second for the force. 1 pitch and the side is retired. So, as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Crosley Field, we have a tie ball game. This is Avengers baseball. So, in relief, Craig Stammen making his 40th appearance out of the bullpen. His record is 5-0 with a 3.27 earned run average. And leading off for the Avengers, Chadwick Boseman, 1 for 2 with a single. Right-handed pitcher facing the right-handed Black Panther. Just gets a piece of the knuckle curve, fouls it off for strike 1. Chadwick is 9 for his last 20. That's a 450 clip. So he is smoking hot in his last handful of games. Ground ball up the middle, fielded. Simeon throws to first, in time, 1 away. So 1 away, up steps Dave Bautista. 0 for 2, 2 groundouts today. Dave is a professional wrestler in his youth, WWE. Little late on the sinking fastball, fouls it off for strike 1. Tie ball game at 3 here in the bottom of the 6th. Slider outside, count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Dave is Drax the Destroyer from the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. Down and in, 2 balls and 1 strike. Inside, hitters count, 3 balls, 1 strike. On deck is Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. Here comes the 3-1 pitch from Stammen. Skies it the other way, but playable for Dante Bichette, and there are 2 away.
Now batting.
So 2 outs, bases empty, up steps Robert Downey Jr., who's 0 for 2. We are in the bottom of the 6th. It's a 3-3 ball game. First game of a 3-game set between these 2 ball clubs. Swing and a miss over the top of the knuckle curve, strike 1. Oh, that hits him right on the elbow. And that's 2 out, hit batsman. He doesn't like it, staring down the pitcher. But not intentional. Up next is Idris Elba, 0 for 2. Runner leads off first. 2 outs. That's a line drive to center. Oh, it's off his glove. And he's going to go to second and third. My goodness, it could have been a brilliant play in center, but it hits off the heel of his glove, and just like that, with 2 outs, we have runners at second and third. Almost a gorgeous play by Mike Trout. They're going to give him a hit. They're going to give him a double. Next up, James Rhodes, 0 for 2, turns around and bats from the left side against the righty Stammen. 2 runners in scoring position. Slider low, ball 1. With a hit, this could be a 5-3 lead for the Avengers. Let's see what happens. And that's a 2-out single and an RBI for War Machine. Oh, he's going to second, and he's out. Bad decision by Don Cheadle. He has the RBI single with 2 outs, but decides to get greedy, take a second base. And at the end of 6, the Hollywood Avengers are leading 4-3, but they could have had more. This is Avengers baseball. So next up for the Mets is Luis Arias. 2 singles today. He's 2 for 3. Left-handed hitter against the lefty Samuel L. Jackson on the mound for his 2nd inning of relief work. Fouls off the curveball for strike 1. So it's a 1-run lead here in the top of the 7th for the MCU. They lead 4-3. Knuckler in there. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Luis. Late on the fastball. Fouls it off. Count remains 0-2. Line drive to center. Racing back is Don Cheadle. He's in front of the warning track. Makes the catch for out number 1. Nice play by War Machine. Covered a lot of real estate. Next up, Chipper Jones, switch hitter, now batting from the right side against the lefty Sam Jackson. 0 for 3. Popped out with the bases loaded in his last at-bat. That's a deep drive the other way to right. Back goes Batista to the track. In front of the wall, makes the catch. Out number 2. Nice play by Drax. Next up, Mike Trout is 0 for 3. Manager goes to the bullpen. He's going to warm up Jeremy Renner. He's going to put in Ed Norton. In relief is Ed Norton, the first man in the MCU to play the Incredible Hulk. 1-1 record with a 4.21 earned run average. He's here to get the final out here in the top of the 7th inning. Tough assignment, Mike Trout, for anybody. Here comes the pitch. Slider, outside corner, strike 1. Fouls his sinking fastball back. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Trout. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That's the 3rd strikeout of the game for Mike Trout. Get up and stretch, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the 7th inning stretch. The MCU leads 4-3. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Up steps Anthony Mackie, who was 1 for 3 with a single today. Here comes a pitch from Stammen, out there in his 2nd inning of work. Line drive, base hit to right. Leadoff single for the new Captain America. Cut that check. He's 2 for 4. Here's the replay. Flat breaking ball right down the middle of the plate. Wrapped it into right field for a single. Next up, Tom Holland, his last at-bat in the 5th inning, he did this. Powered a 2-run home run the opposite way to give the Avengers a 3-2 lead at the time. Now they have a 4-3 lead. Runner at first, nobody out, bottom of the 7th. Big lead at first base. Sinking fastball outside, ball 1. Mackie has speed. He can fly. Swing and a miss. Strike 1, count even, 1 ball and 1 strike on Spider-Man. Slider low, 2 balls and 1 strike. No, it's grounded up third base line, foul,
Nope, that's foul.
strike 2. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mackey leads off first. Here comes the pitch from Stammen. Fouls it back. Count remains 2-2. Tom Holland is 2 for 3. His batting average is over 370 on the first season in the season. Low and inside. Full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. On deck is Chris Evans. Here comes the full count pitch from Stammen. Will he be in motion at first? He has the speed. Did he check it?
What do you got?
Yes, he did. So it's ball 4. And there'll be runners at first and second here with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Let's check to see on the replay if he broke his wrists. He did not. Wait. Nope, he did not. Next up, to face Chris Evans is Adam Ottavino. 4-3 with a 4.02 earned run average in 43 appearances out of the bullpen for the Mets. Chris Evans is a switch hitter. He turns around, bats from the left side. He's 2 for 3 today. Runners at first and second and nobody out. He's got to get those runners to second and third. Here comes the pitch from Ottavino. And he hits it high and deep, but it will curl foul for strike 1. Flirted with a 3-run homer right there. Comes the pitch. Fastball's outside, checks his swing. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Swings and chases a high fastball. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. He must have been expecting a breaking ball. Just gets a piece of the cut fastball inside. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes on Steve Rogers. Outside, count 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 runners on, nobody out. 4-3 lead for the Avengers, and they want more. Let's see what happens. Cut fastball is low, count goes full, 3-2 on deck. Mark Ruffalo. Will they be in motion? A lot of speed on the bases. Let's see what happens. Deep drive, but playable in right for Bichette. And there's 1 away. Tagging at third, tagging at second, and heading to third, better yet, is Anthony Mackie. So the runner at second moves to third in scoring position with less than 2 outs. Runners at first and third with 1 away for Mark Ruffalo, who's 1 for 3 with an RBI single today. Can he get that runner home from third? Let's see. Did he check it? No, he did not. He swung, according to the first base umpire. Count is 0-1. Mark Ruffalo is hitting .356 with runners in scoring position. Tough matchup for Ruffalo. Fastball outside. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Mackey at third. Holland at first. Quick throw to first to keep him close. Trying to keep the double play in order. Ruffalo does not have a lot of speed. He hits it hard on the ground and it's prime candidate for a double play. Hits him! And the bases will be loaded with 1 away. Oh, that's a break for the Avengers. Well, depends on your point of view. Now there'll be a force at every base. Maybe they just didn't want to deal with him. Next up is Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, 1 for 3 with a single. Bases loaded, 1 away. MCU leads 4-3. Looking for more. Let's see. Fastball low, ball 1. Chadwick is hitting .316 with runners in scoring position. That is actually lower than his regular season average of .332. So, take from that what you will. Couldn't hold back on the slider, swung and a missed. Count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Bases loaded. 1 out. Swings over the top of the slider. Count is 1-2. Nasty pitch. Dropped right out from under him. Trap door.
That's ball two.
Two-seam fastball is high. Count is even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Bottom of the 7th. 4-3 lead for the MCU, and the bases are loaded. Here comes the pitch from Ottavino. Strike 3 called, top of the zone. Does not get the runner home, and it's 2 away. First strikeout for Ottavino. Let's see, was it a strike? I mean, it's above the belt, but it's too close to take. You got to protect the plate with 2 strikes. Next up, Drax the Destroyer. They need a hit from him. He's 0 for 3 today. Slider low and inside, ball 1. Bases loaded. 1-0 count. Two-seam fastball outside corner. Count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Dave's hitting .325 with runners in scoring position this season. 2 outs. Bases full. They need a hit to get that runner home, that insurance run. Fastball's outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Nowhere to put him. Ottavino sets and delivers. Out in front of the cut fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded, 4-3 lead. Comes the pitch. Full count. All the runners will be in motion on this payoff pitch. Let's see what happens. And he pops it up in the infield, and they will leave the bases loaded as Eddie Murray retires the side. 7 innings of baseball complete here at Crosley Fields. They've missed an opportunity to get some insurance. However, the Avengers lead 4-3. We go to the top of the 8th. Dante Bichette's 2 for 3 steps up to the plate against Ed Norton out there for his 2nd inning of relief work. Fouls off the fastball, 98 on the radar gun, strike 1. Slurve misses outside, ball 1. 26,571 here in attendance at Crosley. This is a minor league ballpark. That is actually a sellout. And he pulls, takes a step in, but Idris recovers, makes the catch, 1 away. Almost a disaster and left. Starter comparison, pretty evenly matched. Scarlett Johansson versus Wei Yin Chen. Both pitched 5+, 3 earned runs. Next up is Eddie Murray. Eddie is 2 for 3, he has 2 doubles and an RBI. Ed Norton sets and delivers. Inside corner with the fastball, strike 1. And he hits it towards the left center field gap. Racing over is the War Machine. Don Cheadle makes the catch, 2 away. Nice run. Nice catch. Example of good outfield play. So 2 down, bases empty. Marcus Semien steps up. He's 1 for 3. Slider outside, ball 1. Sinking fastball finds the bottom of the zone. Count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike. Grounder up the middle and through. It is a 2-out single here in the top of the 8th, and the tying run is on base for the Mets. Here's the replay. Just a ground ball with eyes up the middle. No chance for the second baseman. Get a glove on it. Next up, Reese McGuire 1 for 3 with a single, and manager is going to go for a 4-out save. Goes to the bullpen and asking Jeremy Renner to get save number 21 on the season. Let's put him in the game for a 4-out save. Jeremy Renner in the MCU plays Hawkeye. He is 0-2 for the season, but he has 20 saves and 22 save opportunities. 32 strikeouts in just over 20 innings pitched. No walks. He's here to get McGuire out. Line drive caught by the first baseman. And we will go to the top of the ninth. Check that. We will go to the bottom of the eighth. Hollywood Avengers lead 4-3. This is Avengers baseball. So to pitch the bottom of the eighth is Tyler Olson for the Mets. It's his 31st appearance out of the bullpen. His record is 1-0 with a 2.56 earned run average. The man who just made that nice defensive play at first base will step up to the plate to lead off here in the bottom of the eighth. Robert Downey Jr. was hit by a pitch today and scored a run. Overall, officially, he is 0-2. Left-handed pitcher. Backs him off the plate. Inside, ball one. Oh, right up the middle and through. I don't know if that went through his legs, if it went through his stomach. Nonetheless, it is a leadoff single for Tony Stark. Let's see the replay on this. Oh, she just went right under his leg. Couldn't get the glove down there fast enough. Next up, Idris Elba. Runner at first. Idris is 1 for 3 with a double today. Hard ground ball. 6-4-3. Double play. And now there's 2 away and bases empty here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Now back, number 10.
Here's the replay. Simeon gets a glove on it, tosses it over, start the 6-4-3. So 2 outs, bases empty. Up steps Don Cheadle, who has an RBI single today. He's 1 for 3. Here comes the pitch from Olson. And he pulls it foul. Strike one. That ball is high and deep, but playable. He makes the catch to retire the side. So we will go to the 9th. Last licks for the New York Mets. They need a run to tie this ball game. It's the Hollywood Avengers leading 4-3. So, pinch hitting for the Mets to lead off the top of the 9th is Torreyes. Ronald Torreyes is hitting .282. He has 8 RBIs on the season. Hawkeye is out there. First pitch fouled off, strike one. 99 on the radar gun. Grounder to short. Routine play. Throws to first. 1 away. Nice play from Anthony Mackie at short. Cut the check. And there's 1 out. Jams in on his hands. Next up, Brian Roberts, leadoff man. He singled in the 5th. He is 1 for 4 today. Switch hitter batting from the left side against Hawkeye. And it's a ground ball to the right side. Picked up by Hawkeye. Throws to first. 2 away. And the New York Mets are down to their final out of the game. 2 quick outs for Renner. Next up, Luis Arias, who's 2 for 4 with 2 singles. He has the average up to 340. He is the tying run. Here comes the pitch. 100-mile-an-hour fastball just misses the plate inside. Ball 1. And he pops him up, and this should do it. Captain America makes the catch, retires the side, ball game over. Avengers win 4-3, and they take this first game of a 3-game set at home against the New York Mets. Hawkeye gets save number 21. The winning pitcher in relief will probably be Sam Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson gets the win. I think it's his 4th win of the season. Craig Stammen in relief gets the loss. Tom Holland is your player of the game. He had a homer, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, 2 for 3 today. So the Hollywood Avengers, 4 runs, 11 hits, no errors. New York Mets, 3 runs, 11 hits, no errors. This has been a broadcast of Avengers Baseball. I am RC Robbin. Thank you so much for joining me. Special thank you to Marvel, Top Marvel Clips, the Outlander Show, and everyone else who took the time to watch. Even if you didn't make a comment, I genuinely appreciate your presence. Thank you so much. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. If you're not interested in baseball, check out some of my other playlists. We have a lot of interesting stuff going on gaming with RC Robbin. Anyway, the final here at Crosley Field, the Hollywood Avengers win 4-3. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourself an absolutely great evening.